Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome back to Powerwash Power Hour is what I'm calling it. I know it has 3 different names. If you go to John's stuff, he has a different name for it. Mark has a different name. It's all the same thing, really. We're playing Powerwash, and we're talking with each other, and we're just playing the game. Because Powerwash is one of those games that I've mentioned before that's like, somehow you can talk and play the games at the same time, because you're really just cleaning. So it's not super entertaining, but it's just entertaining enough, especially when you're talking with somebody. So I'm here not joined by just one person. I'm joined by both the people you've seen on Powerwash Power Hour so far. So we have John, who was the first contender that we've done a little bit ago. We have Axel, whose episodes are not out by the time we're recording this, but will be when you are watching this. But he's right here. So I have them both.
Hello.
Hello, I'm here.
And John is streaming this. Yeah, so I was going to say, if you are watching this when the actual video comes out, I should say 2 videos. When the 2 videos come out, his VOD will not be there, so don't try to find it. But you can go watch his other stuff because he probably has other VODs at that point.
And if you hear me talking to myself, I'm not crazy.
Okay, so I say we pick different sections. There's 3 of us, so we could have the one person can do this side, one person can do this side, and one person can do the middle.
Alright, I'll do this side over here.
All right, actually, I want to do the middle because I know you have a worse gun. Okay. I'm going to turn my water down a little bit.
I don't know if it sounds bad, but if it does, too bad.
Who cares?
I can't actually change it.
Okay, just want to turn it down just a little bit.
So, Axel, I didn't see the video with you and Ethan doing it. How well did you do it?
What was that? I'm sorry, I need to turn my game volume down.
How good of a cleaner are you?
Not bad.
That's pretty good.
I mean, he has the dinky gun, so it's gonna be hard for him to do like big project. Like he probably won't be able to reach the top and stuff, but
We'll help him out.
yeah,
I can reach the top.
That's why. Well, not well. We have the tridents and stuff, so we're gonna reach the high places that we wouldn't have been able to do before.
I remember when we were doing our first one, where like you had the dinky sprayer, and I was like, I can't.
I don't have.
Stuff.
I have the second least stinky sprayer now.
Wow, the second least stinky.
It's no trident though, so.
Yeah. The trident is so fun to play with. But
it really is.
It is a little strong.
Game breaking?
No, not game breaking, because like late game, it's pretty.
It's almost the same.
Pretty necessary.
Yeah. Because, like, the tempo level, which is the final level, oh my god, if you didn't have the trident, I'd cry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so last time me and Axel did this, we talked about food a lot, actually.
Love food. Love it.
I would hope you do, John. I would hope you do enjoy food. It's just like, I want to meet someone that's just like, I hate food with a passion. I avoid it at all costs.
I've heard some people, like, I've heard someone say, like, they don't love food. It's just like, yeah, I eat because I have to. If I didn't have to, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Weird. Like, they just hate all food?
They don't hate it. They just, like, don't enjoy it. It's like, inconvenient. Because they have, like, aphantasia, but that applies to food for them. So they don't remember tastes of food. They remember like that the experience of it. Like then their bodies obviously have cravings, because salt and stuff. You need that sometimes, but they don't remember the taste of it. So it's just like, yeah, it's a thing.
Interesting. But yeah, we talked about food. We talked about games and what we like and what we don't like about them. I'm sure there's more. I'd have to go back. I edited them a while ago. They're actually going to be going out the week. So just to give you guys a clarification of when this was recorded. This is being recorded April and like the mid-April. And so I haven't gone on vacation just yet. But the episode, actually, now that I think about it, the first episode of the actual is going out tomorrow. And then the second part of it's going out the week I'm gone. So... And then I don't know when these come out. Probably pretty soon afterwards, because I like these to go out. You guys seem to enjoy them, and the whole point of doing these is so you guys can have these on in the background, or it's almost like a mini podcast, sort of.
A podcast without being a podcast.
Yeah.
Right, because like if you want it to act like a podcast, you can. But if you want to watch it, you can also do that.
Yeah. So it's
If you're really into watching power wash videos, which I know some people are, like you got that part of it.
yeah, but it's yeah, so it's like a mini podcast, but like if you haven't seen, this isn't one of those things where if you haven't seen the other two, you can't see this one. It's not like that type of game. So if this is your first one, welcome. This is what the other two will be like. Except the other two, it's technically four, but they're 2 sessions for us. But the first one was with John. That was a while ago, back when I had a dinky frickin' sprayer, which actually motivated me to get a better one. So I actually played through the entire game myself. I didn't do it on YouTube or anything because I didn't feel like it was one of those games I wanted to do on YouTube. Kind of like Halo Infinite or whatever it was called. I did that game by myself because I'm like, I don't know if I really want to play this on YouTube and stuff. Because very rarely do I have time to play games on my own. But when I do, I like playing games that like I either need to grind on or games that's like Powerwash or Halo Infinite, where I'm like, okay, I can live without having this be on YouTube and stuff. Because I played through the entire game. The only one I haven't finished yet is the Temple one. I've gotten I think 40% or something on that. It's just such a big one that I'm like I have to stop a couple times.
Yeah, for me, it's interesting. I have like the opposite effect with it comes to games. Maybe it's because I do a lot of challenge runs. But when I play a game for the first time, I like to not do it on stream. So when I get to the streaming, I have like some interesting way of playing it, like doing the permadeaths or the random challenges that I do.
Right. Yeah. I just think, and then this playing this level again makes me remember that this level actually was. I heard a lot of people that didn't like it too much. They're like, oh, it's not a great level and like it wasn't fun to play. I actually thought it was quite decent.
Right. Yeah, I liked this level when I did it because it was like when I was playing this for the first time.
I have flashbang myself.
That is unfortunate. When I was playing this for the first time, I was doing what I would not recommend, but I was playing this during like online school because I like to have something to do with my hands while I'm listening to lectures.
Yeah.
And so this was an easy way because you don't really have to pay attention to this. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I will say, one of the levels that I didn't like was the treehouse level. It was just like there's a lot of nook and crannies, and you don't have the trident at that part of the story mode. So like like getting to the nooks and crannies is really bad. That's why when I've done this, I know John, you did it during one of your other ones. But I like if we do another one, I'm probably not gonna go there because it just wasn't, to me. It just wasn't a fun level, and I know Mark feels the same. And I'm not trying to copy him or anything, but it's just like that's one of the ones, and I'm just like I didn't really like that one, But so Axel, what have you been up to over there?
Just like in game or Arizona?
Both.
Or yes.
Both.
Well, currently I'm attempting to clean the floor because I'm...
It's a good start.
Yeah. But, Arizona-wise, I've just been getting homework done.
That's nice. Are you still planning on moving, or has that been off the table?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Is there no hesitation? He actually wants out of there immediately.
I would too. It's Arizona.
That's true.
It hit 100 the other day.
Oof.
In April.
I mean, to be fair, it's actually reached 80 where I am. So
yeah, I saw that.
There must be a heat wave that came through, and I just didn't get notified of it.
I think so too, because for me, the other day it was 97.
Yikes!
And I had to mow the lawn.
Oh no!
And not only that, but it was extra tall because this was the first time this year that I mowed it, because it was like during this colder seasons, it doesn't really need to be done as much because it's like not snow, but it's just not growing. It's all dead.
Yeah.
So like I had put it off once it started growing again, and it was very tall, and it took me like an hour to do, maybe longer.
Yeah, it got up to like 80 something. The real feel was 80, the actual temperature I think was like 76, but because it was so because the humidity was so high, it made it feel like it was like I think it was 86. I think it was 86 or something like that. But like it was bad enough that like I couldn't work, so I needed to put my air conditioner in the window. Like I literally, if it's like, because if it's 80 out, that means my room was like 80, like higher 80s, maybe even the 90s, because my room is emitting so much heat because I have a laptop that's running, I have an Xbox that's running, I have a TV that's running, like all that kind of stuff. And so it makes the room especially hot. And so like I can't work. I literally can't work if it's that hot. And so I needed to and putting a fan in the window wouldn't have made it better or anything. And so I'm just like, I need to put my air conditioner in the window, otherwise I might die.
That might happen, yeah. Heat stroke. Real deadly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before, but when I went to Disney, all the way back last year, the last couple of days were great. But the first day we got there, when we went to Magic Kingdom, and everyone knows that's actually seen Magic Kingdom or that's been there, knows that it's pretty big. Like, they've expanded it so much to the point where, like, if you want to walk from Tomorrowland to the other side, it's going to take, like, 10 minutes of just straight walking. Which normally isn't bad. It normally isn't bad. But in a place like Florida, and on the day that we were there, it was, like, 95 or something, I literally had to stop and get a water after every ride. Because I literally told I told my mom and my siblings, I'm like, I will literally pass out if I don't get a water. Because it was just, like, I couldn't feel anything. It's like, I was sweating like crazy. I don't know I don't think I've ever had a heat stroke before, but it felt like I was going to if I kept going. So I needed to sit down, drink a nice cold water. What's nice about Disney is they have to give you water if you ask for it. So I successfully got the water, and I didn't trust the fountains or anything.
Because they're also in Florida.
Yeah.
So, which is humid Texas.
Yeah, basically.
Humid Texas, yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I'm just not good in heat, and so I actually mentioned in the podcast that I might be moving to Japan at some point. I have to check how the temperature is over there, and just see if it's better or worse. I don't think it's any worse than Florida. I think because they're not. I don't know. I have to check. I'd probably go in the upper part of Japan if I can. But yeah, I'd have to check. But I know North Carolina is a little bit hotter than New York is, but I know their winters are about the same, except just a little less snow. So I don't know. I'm not a hot person. I don't do well in hot environments.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you there.
You are not a lizard.
No.
I'm not a lizard.
At least I don't think so. I don't run the government, so I can't tell.
Yeah, but like I'm the same way when it comes to heat versus like when it's cold. I can't think in the heat. It's just not a skill set I have.
Yeah. Like, if me and Axel were to swap positions right now, I would not get anything done. Because he mentioned he gets homework done. I would not be able to. If it's 90 degrees and I don't have any sort of air conditioning, no way.
Yeah, the minimum, the air... Yeah, I have AC.
Okay.
We're not suing Binghamton.
Do they not have AC?
No, they don't.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
No, in the dorms there is a... one of my friends, I will not say his name because obviously I do not know if he wants his name said, so I'm not going to.
You can just call him Joe.
Yeah, he goes to not Maritime, to SUNY Binghamton, and there is no AC.
Yeah, I did a summer program at Binghamton University in one of my high school years. I don't remember what year. It might have been freshman. Either way, it was like during the summertime, and they were like, "No, you can't open the windows because it messes with the air conditioning." I'm like, "What air conditioning? We don't have any."
That's gotta break some law of some kind that you can't, that they don't have AC. Because I know in the UK they don't have AC, but that's because they just don't. But like in the US, we have access to AC. So I feel like that's got to be breaking some type of code of conduct or something. But I could be wrong. I don't care about college too much because the college I got offered to go to SUNY, But the thing was, they didn't have a course that I was like, yeah, I want to do that. I was going to be a game dev, and they didn't have any. They didn't have a coding course. They didn't really have anything. Well, they had a lot of stuff, but nothing to do with like making games and stuff, which is what I wanted to do. And so I'm just like the actual price it was 9,000 per semester, which was great. Like it's way better than what I was offered for the other one. But like the other one I was going to go to was called Full Sail, and they had a bunch of coding classes, a bunch of game dev classes. I'm like, oh, okay, this is great. And it was also a college I could take online, which was like saving grace for me because I didn't want to go all the way to New Hampshire, I think is where it was, like the main college campus. But they wanted 89,000 per semester, and I'm like, sorry, Chad, that ain't happening.
Well, what, Full Sail?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
And also, I'm not gonna
apologize for the swearing.
No, you're fine.
It's all good.
Actually, you'll know him. I'm not gonna say his actual name, but it was the cool and funny guy in BOCES. You remember him? You talked to him a lot. And,
the guy that did
his name is similar to yours.
100?
His name is similar to yours.
Oh, the USSR.
Yeah,
I
the
know
communist guy. Yeah, the communist guy.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Confused.
I am. I'm like, what are you talking about?
John,
communism over there?
John, we're just talking about a communist. We're talking about a communist party that was in our BOCES class, right? But anyway,
You know, that's fair. Yeah.
apparently Full Sail contacted him like multiple times and was like, "Hey, we have a class that's right for you," and they were offering the same amount of prices, and he was like, he had to put him on blocked or whatever to get rid of him. It's like, they never called me that many times, but they were asking for 89,000 per semester, and I would have gone for 2 semesters, and I'm like, absolutely not. So I'm not Jeff Bezos. I don't have enough money for that.
Right. Yeah, personally, I went to a community college because I was like, oh, there's no way I'm paying for like a full university up in Texas somewhere. I know that's not north of me, but that's besides the point. It's like I'm not paying a whole bunch of money to go some random place for them to barely teach me something that I don't even want to learn about.
Right. Yeah. But back to my class though, Axel, is I'm actually going in. I worked it out with the teacher. I'm also not going to say his name, but the teacher, I actually worked it out that I'm going to be going in to teach the class about YouTube thumbnails and stuff, about how to make like what makes a good thumbnail, like what the
that's cool.
Yeah, the do's and don'ts and how to make a compelling thumbnail. Because we're gonna be acting like titles don't exist. There's no titles on YouTube. It's just thumbnails. And I'm going to be telling them...
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm going to be telling them, like, hey, this is what I've learned, because I'm not a professional like Mr. Beast or anything, but what I do know is I researched YouTube for about 6 months before I actually did YouTube, and for 2 months I researched titles and thumbnails. And I know what thumbnails get more views, I know what... categories get more views. We're going to also try to ignore categories, though, because I'm going to mainly be focusing on the design portion of it. And then I also worked it out because he's awesome. That I'm actually gonna have an assignment for them that day that I go in. That's like, okay, here's all the stuff that I mentioned to you. Now use that information to make a thumbnail. So that's gonna be pretty. I'm actually doing that on the 28th. It's a day before I leave. It was gonna be the 28th until I found out I was going on vacation on the 28th. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited to do it. I'm working on the Google slide now, and
hey, that's funny because I fly back to New York on the 29th.
Well, I'll be so as you're coming back, I'm out of here.
And
No, as you're out of here, I'm coming back.
Well, that's what I said. But yeah, it's just,
Fair enough.
It's just funny because like me and the teacher talked a little bit after I graduated, and he was like, yeah, you're welcome anytime. And I thought about that. I'm like, would there were like besides just talking with him again, would there be a reason I would go in? And I thought to myself, yeah, I made a couple friends with the juniors, so I know a couple of them. And it'd be nice to see them again. And then I thought, I could also ask the teacher, like, hey, we're a design class after all. What if I just come in and talk to them about YouTube thumbnails? And he loved the idea. He was over the moon with the idea. He's like, yeah, that's an amazing idea. I think you should go do that. And we worked it out. It took a little bit because I had to email him. I emailed him over one of the breaks, or I think it was winter break. So I had to wait for a response. But he's like, yeah, you want to do that? Make a Google slide. Just let's schedule a day for you to come in. I knew it would have to be April or May because I couldn't come in earlier in the year. But yeah, it's I think it's pretty exciting because this actually isn't going to be my first time teaching a class. I've actually taught 4 classes before this, most of them being course classes because the teacher wasn't there, so I had to take over. But I think it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
But John, are you a little concerned that we had a communist party in the BOCES class?
You know what? No, I mean you gotta learn. You gotta learn.
I made a temporary logo for that Communist Party.
You know, it's just another way of doing government.
And
I still have it on my phone.
Here's the thing: the teacher that we had was so cool that he literally went along with it and like played as like the villain to the story.
Yes.
He was like,
remember the opposing party?
Hang on, give me a second. It was USSR, and then it was who started the here? Who's the one? Was the teacher the one that started it?
No, it was another student.
Oh, then I won't remember. I thought maybe the teacher had started it. It must have been an anti-communist party. That's all I know.
It was.
Yeah, I don't remember the actual. If it had a name, I don't remember the name.
Something to do with Obama.
Obamacare. That's the name of it. No, I don't remember the name either. All I remember is that it was hilarious, and the person that I was talking about before actually made the logo that he didn't say you made it, so it must have been a different logo. But they made a logo together, and he had that as the background for his computer for like half the year, I would say.
He made the flag.
Yeah, I think well, I don't know, because he made a logo as well, and he had that as his background. I know he made a flag too, but he had a logo that was also on his computer for like half the year. I of course was part of the Communist Party. I had to join it because I didn't know the person there when I got it, because Axel already knew him because they were in the same class. But I was quote unquote homeschooled when COVID hit, and because you had an option to go in or do not go in, and I'm like, yeah, I want to stay home. I like online learning. But when I got there in 12th grade, I didn't know him too well, and I actually sat right next to him. And the teacher was like, hey, you're sitting next to this kid, just be warned. Like, he literally gave me a warning. You're like, hey, he's pretty rambunctious. If you want to move, just let me know. I don't think I ever wanted to move. I think, like, he was one of the funnest people there.
I have his phone number saved in my phone still.
That's hilarious. But yeah, he was, like, super chill. It's interesting because our personalities normally would clash. He loved history. Like, he really loved history. I hate history with a passion. He's more down to earth. Well, he's down to earth, but also sarcastic. He has a weird mixture of stuff. But I'm full on sarcastic. Very rarely am I down to earth unless I'm giving advice. I'll be down to earth. But like, if you looked at our personalities on a like graph, we would clash so often. But we actually got along quite well. We would make fun of each other constantly, which was hilarious. And it was just a great time. I think BOCES was my favorite part about high school.
I still remember playing Bootleg Combat Evolved.
Oh yeah, it wasn't bootleg because it was technically the thing. But I actually almost
we got it though.
Well, the way we got it was pirating. We're not gonna beat around that bush.
Hey, I'm not allowed to condone that, by the way. Twitch, I'm not condoning that. It's make your own choices.
No, we're just saying we're stealing from pirates, John.
Yeah. You pirated pirates.
Yeah, no, that's what the act of pirating is. It's pirating from pirates. So
Right.
that we had done because pirates are nasty sometimes.
That's why Pirates Bay exists, so you can steal from the pirates.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But yeah, like I can't tell you guys how cool our class was, and I don't know how often I mentioned it, but I mention it now because both me and Axel were in it. But like the teacher was literally the coolest teacher I think I've ever had. I don't think any teacher for me will surpass him. Like he would literally play Halo with us. There's no like you're not being that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He also held a pizza party that Axel decided not to go to.
So sometimes you can't beat that.
Yeah, he also held a pizza party at the end of the year that Axel didn't go to because he hates him.
So wait.
No, I didn't. I was working, thank you very much.
You didn't put
and
time
I had
aside.
lack of license to be able to go myself.
I'm hearing a bunch of excuses, personally, John. Do you hear excuses?
That's what I'm hearing. Yeah,
I'm hearing a bunch of excuses. But anyway, the pizza party was awesome. I know he wasn't there, but it was awesome. He brought I don't remember where he got the pizzas, but it was good pizza. He also brought Soda, one of the kids there. That's I'm not gonna name names, but he was definitely the more down to earth person there. He was also conveniently someone I sat next to. So I had the maniac, I'm gonna call him, on the left. Then on the right I had a very chill person. So it was very classic.
Maniac on the left, chill person on the right, and here I am stuck in the middle with you.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, he brought energy drinks that I've never heard of. I can't honestly remember the name now. And I decided to try one. I'm like, sure, why not? And it was decent. I can't say it's the best one I've ever had, but it was decent.
I refuse to consume an energy drink.
You know what? Good piece.
Do you just rebel against energy drinks?
Yes, that's what coffee is for.
Yeah, but
I
coffee.
I will take my dirty bean water over an energy drink any day of the week.
Well, here's the
For
thing.
me,
Coffee can't beat the amount of energy that you get out of energy drink. That's why they exist. Now,
I'm not
I will-
saying it can't.
ignore it.
I'm not saying it can't.
Okay,
I'm just
but-
saying that I don't like the amount of stuff that is actually in energy drinks that makes them what they are.
Well, if you're talking about like Monster and Red Bull, sure. But I'm talking about like the actual like good ones. Because like Monster, I have a problem with. Red Bull, I just hate their slogan. So I just rebel against them anyway. And then really that's the only two. I mean, Rockstar, I've heard a little bit about. I don't really care about them. I've drank one called Raise, which had no crash, it had no sugar, and it had there's something else that was, and it was something environmentally friendly that they had going with it as well. But I bought it. And
I love how you guys are just clearing the walls and I'm just sitting here cleaning a bench.
You know, that's fair. Benches take a lot of work in this map. I don't know why.
Well, and also like the walls are we chose the sides and stuff, so.
Right.
I have cleaned 2 floor sections, 2 benches, and a divider.
I've cleaned up all my floors.
I've done all the walls. I did all the walls. I just haven't done the ceiling yet. I probably will do the ceiling next because
Oh, I completely forgot about the ceiling.
the train track is to me the most annoying part of the level. But
Yeah, I mean, I breezed through it because like it's split somewhat well, but like the going because you have to go on the sides of each one is annoying. I understand that, but
yeah, well, I just use the curly one, whatever it's called. What is it called? The turbo nozzle, the pro turbo nozzle.
I've never used that. I'm using the Trident over here.
Yeah, I was using that. It just for me, it couldn't get in the crevices I needed it to, so I'm just using the turbo nozzle. I very rarely use the turbo nozzle, but this is one of the situations where I would.
Mm.
Yeah, skip this. I'm doing the ceiling. The ceiling's more fun. But yeah, our class was just so fun. I wish I had gone 11th grade, but I don't know actually, because I liked online learning. I was one of the people that was okay with online learning. I know it had a lot of people were appealing about it because I understand, because a lot of people are visual learners. They need to be there to do it. I'm not a visual learner. I don't know what it's called. I'm a learner that needs to do it, like that actually actively needs to do the activity to be able to understand.
I am a hands-on person.
That's what it's called, hands-on. Hands-on is where we actually have to do it. I can't listen to someone and be like, okay, yeah, I understand that fully. I can't do that. I have to actually, it's like, if you're telling me to like mow a lawn, for example, which I know how to do, but like, actually, let me give an example where I don't know how to do it. If you're telling me how to file a certain thing, and you're just telling me how to file it and be like, okay, now you do it, then I'm not going to understand it. But if you teach me while I'm doing it, then I'm going to understand it way better.
Yeah, I'm the same way. It's like I learn by hands-on experience and not by like, yeah, you gotta do this, and then you're done. I'm like, oh, wait, what? I don't understand.
It's more of an overload of information in my brain. Not that we're stupid or anything. It's just that we just can't handle the overflux of information. Whereas if we're actually actively doing it, our brain is like, okay, that now I understand because we're actually doing it. You know, it's hard to explain. I don't know the psychology behind it. I just know that that's how I work. And when I get a job, because when I move eventually, I'm gonna probably work in retail a little bit just to get not only to rake in extra money, but I've been told it builds character. I don't know how true that is, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'll probably work at a GameStop because that's a place. It doesn't have to be GameStop specifically, but a video game store because I have a passion for video games. So it would make more sense than going to a grocery store where I could care less.
Sorry, I'll take my lifeguarding any day of the week.
You're what?
And
My lifeguarding.
if only I
lifeguarding.
passed that class.
You couldn't save the people, John?
No, it was that the written portion, the portion that wasn't the hands-on part. I couldn't get my head around it.
That's kind of dumb. I understand
Yeah.
why it's there, but that's kind of dumb.
Like it's one of those things where it's like you need to know all the rules, and if you don't know all the rules, people could die. So they want you to be safe.
I guess. But did they ever have portions where like there's a dummy in the water and they're like weighted?
Oh yeah,
down?
they had stuff like that.
Oh, okay. But you succeeded at those ones.
Yeah, most of those, like my teacher was like, yeah, you do great in the actual like when you're in the water, but in the hands-on part. But like when it comes to the written test, I was just like, I can't get my head around all these rules and remember what to do in each situation.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been against standardized tests because they don't work, you know. I actually made, it's funny, I actually made an 18-page essay about how standardized tests are ruining the school system, essentially. And I gave it to all of my teachers, not that they can do anything about it, but I gave it to all them teachers, and we're like, hey, let me know how you think about this. And it actually got to the principal, like the principal heard about it and was like, hey, I want to read that. And, I was like ecstatic because I'm like, hey, this is actually someone that might have some power to do something. I knew at the time that like principals actually don't have as much power as you think they do, but he still has a little bit of power. And so he actually got the paper to the superintendent. Now the superintendent is one of the people that has the most power in the school system. They don't have all of it because the state usually does, but they have some power. And so I was ecstatic when I found out that it got to them. I don't know if anything ended up happening. Funny enough, COVID hit a while after that, and standardized tests had to be canceled anyway. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that.
You caused COVID.
I caused it. God damn it! Everyone knows now. No, I didn't. But like,
Are you sure about that?
I don't live in China, so I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I was just like, I was super ecstatic that it got to the superintendent, that like all these people like started to care and like that kind of stuff. Because it was 18 pages and it took an entire weekend to write. And I did it in MLA format just to be spiffy. Which was
not APA.
No, I didn't care about that. But like, I did it in MLA format, and the English teachers appreciated that, and like all that kind of stuff. But it was just fun to see. People with power that could make a difference, read a paper that they said could make a difference, you know? So, I'm not trying to gloat or anything, I just marked that as one of my best moments in high school because I actually might have been able to do something. Whether it actually happened or not, I don't have control over that. But, if it got to people that had control over it, then that's all that mattered to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never been able to flex that because I've never talked about that on the podcast or anything. I've never talked about it in casual conversation during playing games and
Right.
stuff, so...
Yeah, I remember when you were writing that and you were talking about it in school. That was just before I moved, right?
Yes, because it was 10th grade.
So yeah, it was like, I remember that and I was like, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, well...
And then I moved. And then I didn't have any
John
help.
left us. I'm still heartbroken to this day, you know?
Yeah, I'm as well.
Yeah.
It was a sad day the moment that we heard John was moving.
Yeah, some people didn't believe me. They're like, no, you're lying. I'm like, yeah, that does sound like
always
something I
gotta
would
be
lie about.
lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but I understood why, because like it is something I would say that sort of thing to
I'm outta
just
here.
like just mess with people, but like they're like, nah, you're just messing with me. I'm like, no, I'm leaving. I'm not gonna be here next week, and they're like, no, you're lying. And then I wasn't there next week, and then they're like,
We're
oh,
like, oh,
he was
shit.
serious about that.
Yeah, you were serious. I mean, I knew you were serious well, actually, I think the first thing I said was, "Are you sure?" or something like that. I'm like, "Are you?" or like something like that. I'm sure I was in denial at first, but then when I saw you were actually serious, I'm like, "Oh, well then."
That changes things.
Someone threatened to punch me in the balls if I had showed up after saying I was leaving.
Well, you saved your balls that day. That's all. That
Yeah,
matters.
it was like, yeah, I'm definitely serious. Though. I actually wasn't serious, and then he said that, and I was like, no, I gotta commit. And then
Gotta commit to the bit.
I completely moved states. just so I wouldn't get punched in the nose.
Yeah, that's the reason to move. Not
So
anything
that's
else.
how that went.
Yeah.
I was always wondering.
Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate because, like I said, it was kind of like a slope effect, and what I mean by that is 10th grade John left for not because of COVID or anything, but just because he left. And then COVID hit, and so I saw none of my friends. I really only talked to them through Zoom at the time, which was awful.
Right.
And then
Zoom can go to hell.
yeah, exactly. And then 11th grade, I was homeschooled, so I didn't really see. Not again, I used the term homeschooled. My mom wasn't actually teaching me or anything, but you know what I mean. And it was like I saw really none of my friends. Then 12th grade hit. The only person I really saw constantly was Logan, which was fine because he was enough comedy for me. You guys don't. I don't think you guys have met him just yet, but he is in 3 SMP episodes that are coming out soon. They're gonna be coming out the weeks that I'm gone, I think. But like he's not only he's kind of like the person I've talked about in Bosie's. He's both chill and ecstatic. It's like he's sometimes on cocaine and then sometimes he's not. Legally, I can say that he's not. But you know what I mean. He's like that type of person that like he can go from 0 to 100 real quick, which I appreciate in a person because it shows that they have like control over their energy, which is really strange. I don't know how that works, but yeah.
How people can control their energy is beyond me.
Yeah, I have no idea, but like he also again if you put our personalities on paper, we would clash so often. Like I think in our entire friend group, we should be clashing so often. I think
Right.
it just
Yeah.
it doesn't make
all
sense.
four of us
It's a
are
mirror.
so
It's so confusing how we all became friends.
No clue. And this is also included with Noah. Like if I looked at Noah like today, I'd be like, why would I hang out with that guy? But it's just like it's just we connected so much either during school or because we also hanged out after school. Like he was one of the friends that I was like, all right, fine, you can come over to my house and play video games. But it's like we would schedule stuff like that, and we would hang out after school and clubs and stuff. So like, but if I looked at it today, and like people, that's one of those like life decision things. It's like if you looked at your friends, if you looked at how they acted like years ago, would you still be friends with them? I would say probably not. But like it just worked out that we are.
I was thinking about that the other day actually, because I was talking to someone from that we went to high school with, and I was like, man, there's probably some people that I don't talk to anymore just because I came out of contact with them that I would probably not talk to even if I had the choice because of how different they were from how different they are now from when they were in high school.
Yeah, honestly, I that is one sad part I had about because graduation day was like one of the best days of my life. I'm like, I am finally done. I can't wait to have so much free time. My YouTube channel's gotten so much better after I've graduated and stuff. We were able to do the podcast more frequently because I had way more time. And so like all this stuff I was able to do when school ended. But one of the things that was kind of sad was because like what was weird about my class, and this didn't make any goddamn sense, but like no one in my class was like bullies. There was, I mean, in middle school they were, but in high school they grew a conscience and weren't. And I never got really bullied, but what I mean is like they would bully other people. But they were all chill, and like I would talk, like there would be so many people in our class I would just walk down the hall and talk with, you know. And it's just like I'll remember those conversations. And looking back on it, I'm just like, man, like I'm kind of the opposite with you, John. I'd be like, I look at them now and I'd be like, if I could keep in contact with them, I probably would. There was a lot of kids in my BOCES class, and I'm like, I want to ask them, like, hey, you want to do Discord stuff? I do have their Discord and stuff. But it's like, there's so many, like the person I talked about before with Axel, the person I was talking about, it's one of those things where it's like, I want to be like connected with this guy forever because he is so hilarious, and like I can tell he's going to bring so much joy in my life that's just like, I want to keep him around. Unfortunately, I'm gonna be moving soon, so I'm not gonna be near him or anything. He also moved a little bit to go to a college, and we're different because I'm not pursuing college and he is, so it's just a little bit sad. And that's just BOCES, right? But I'm like, even in my high school class, there's a lot of people that's like, man, I'm never gonna see these guys again, or like maybe I'll stumble upon them. It's a small world, right? But like it's.
Yeah.
Who knows what these people are doing after this? Like, I knew what some people were doing. I knew, like, the popular kids were doing college and stuff because they were smart enough to do it. But just the thought of like, hey, I might never see these guys again. Just kind of it hit me in the gut when we were actually doing the when I was about to say president. Yeah, the president came to our graduation, guys. But no, when the principal was talking about how we grew as a class and whatever, like the typical graduation speech. But like while he was talking, it kind of hit me in the gut, like I just said, like, hey, I might never see these guys again. And I was kind of sad for a moment. You know, I'm not sad anymore too much because I've kind of realized the fact that, yeah, it's probably true. But in the moment, I was like, man, that's kind of sad, you know, because I grew, like, not a super strong bond. Like, with these two, I have such a strong bond that I can just call them up and be like, hey, on Thursday, you guys want to play Powerwash? They'll be like, sure. Whereas with those guys, I didn't have such a good bond with them like that. But I had enough of a bond that's like, man, I am gonna miss them, you know?
Parkour skills.
There are a few people that I knew in high school where I'd be like, if I was saying, hey, I'm going to be in town next weekend, you want to hang out? They'd be like, yeah, of course. And then there are other people that I'd be like, I haven't talked to them in ages. I'm not going to reach out to them.
I kind of miss talking to some of them.
Yeah, yeah, the same way as what Ethan was saying. Like, yeah, I do miss that a little bit because there was plenty of people that I was friends with that I just don't talk to anymore. I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way to be like, hey, want to hang out?
Yeah. It was, like I said, it was also sad because my friend circle grew in 10th grade, and then all of a sudden COVID just, like, slammed. And it kind of annoyed me a little bit because, like, we had, like, so many people that wanted to sit at our table that we literally didn't have spots for them. Like, some people were just standing up, and I'm like, no, you guys should just go to a different table. I'm sorry, we don't have enough space. And I felt so bad saying that because it's like, right. I'm friends with all these guys, but they want to sit here, but we don't have enough seats. And, you know, I hate playing favorites.
I think that's why I stopped eating lunch with you guys. It's just like, you know, there's a lot of people. I have other friends at other tables. I would just eat with them.
Yeah. Well, before you left, you were at our table. But yeah, it was just sad because, like, as soon as COVID hit, it's just like, well, I guess I can't see them for a while now. And unfortunately, a lot of the people that were in the friend circle moved, actually. So that wasn't cool. It wasn't their fault. I'm sure there's kind of like John, where their family was moving, and so they had to do as well.
No, I was threatened to punch in the balls. Remember? That's why.
Oh, sorry. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm sure most of them are threatened to be punched in the balls. So that's why
believing.
The fabled ball puncher was after them. That's why. No, it makes so much sense now. That's why all the teachers left.
All the pieces are coming together.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a FNAF story. Damn, I should have seen it.
The stars have aligned.
The fabled ball puncher, man. Okay, well. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just like it was mainly in BOCES because BOCES was such a cool environment, and like I'm gonna be so happy to go back for that day that I'm going. Not so much just to teach the class. Like I could have gone without doing that, but like just to see him again, just the teacher.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping I can see him without a mask on because he had a mask on the entirety of 12th grade, and I understand why he did. He didn't want to get people sick, and he was more. I asked him why he constantly had the mask on, and he never said he had it on for himself. He said he doesn't want to risk anyone getting sick and stuff. So that really just shows you how cool of a teacher he is. He doesn't really care about himself. He cares more about the health of the students and stuff. But like, I just hoped it because like he always had the mask on. Like I really only saw him without a mask like twice, and one of the times was during graduation, I think. But yeah, it's just like it's gonna be really cool to go back there and just see the classroom again because I think it's gonna bring back some nostalgia. Even though it's only been, I would say, a year and a half since I've been there. So.
Yeah, that's fair. I remember when I visited New York for the like a couple weeks last summer. I was like, man, this just being in this town. Seeing all the places, like the ice cream shop that was nearby the school, like it's like, man, that brings back memories.
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about that was too is that we all got to talk to each other again as well. Because like
right.
we talked to each other, but it wasn't face to face. Because like it's
right.
a little bit different, and that's why I never like talking on the phone, especially with people I know. Because it's like I'm not really talking to them. I'm talking to their like voice. I'm not really actually seeing them.
Mm.
But that's what was nice about that. We mentioned this on the podcast, I think, when it happened. But we went to Cracker Barrel, had an amazing. It was more of a brunch, I would say. We went for lunch.
Yeah.
All of us got breakfast. I think John did get a burger, but me and Axel and Logan all got breakfast stuff.
Yeah.
Because
I was.
me personally, I think Cracker Barrel has better breakfast items and stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I think whenever I go on road trips with my family, we stop at Cracker Barrel. So I was like, I've had their pancakes and stuff all the time, so I want to try something new. I think that's why I had the burger instead of.
That's fair. Yeah.
You never get the true Denny's experience though until you go at 2 in.
I don't think
fair.
that's true.
No, it definitely is.
I went to Denny's at 2 a.m. and it was not at 2 a.m. I went at like 10 o'clock at night and it was terrible. Like,
Oh, it's not 2 a.m., is it?
Maybe it's just the wrong Denny's to be going at 10 o'clock at night.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I've not heard good things about going to Denny's at night, just in general. So
Well, technically, I went in the morning, so
At 2 o'clock in the morning, it's definitely
okay, you know what?
not night.
I hate both of you. I want you to know that. I hate both of you.
why? Because we're right?
No, because you're wrong. That's why.
No, I think we're pretty right.
You know
John.
what, guys? You know what? I'm gonna send the ball kicker, whatever the hell I said. You
Ball
guys.
punch. Taylor ball punch
The ball-
will come after us.
Yeah, whatever his name was, I forgot already. I'm gonna send him after you guys, so you have to move again.
Alright, you heard it, guys. Next few streams will be sporadic as I move states again. To get away
As you'll
from
be
ball
on the
punch.
run.
Yeah, it's like a law. It's like a law firm. They're just constantly after you.
It's the tax collectors, man.
Yeah, tax day is coming up. You guys.
I already paid my taxes.
I have no money to pay tax.
I have no money. They have no money to take, so I can't do it. Yeah, that's fair.
Joke's on them. They gave me money.
I am a freelancer right now. I haven't earned any money just yet, but once I do earn money, I'm gonna have to pay tax on that. But I luckily I did take a class in high school that taught me a little bit about taxes, so I know a little bit going into it. So it was called consumer math. So if you guys have a tax course, because they're starting to integrate that now, as they should have done 20 years ago.
Right.
But they're finally starting to do it. So if you guys have access to it, but it's not required. But so what I'm saying is, if you have access to it, absolutely do it, because honestly, to me, it wasn't even that boring. It was kind of interesting, actually. You know, I'm not to call myself a nerd, but I was totally a nerd. But like, I sort of enjoyed it almost, because it was just like, it wasn't that bad, and I learned like
You learned how to
taxes-
pay your taxes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And, like, it sounds so boring when you say it, but like,
Or commit tax fraud and be able to get away with it.
well, we didn't.
Which
learn
I
that
do
part.
not condone.
Yeah, we didn't exactly learn that part. But also, I think me and John have talked about this on the podcast, that it also, the teacher makes a difference. Like, the teacher you have makes a big difference. And the teacher I have, I'm not going to say his name again, wasn't as cool as, like, the other teacher I talked about, but he was definitely pretty chill. And I always like chill teachers, and he actually gave us, I think it was always at least 10 minutes at the end of class to do the homework. And I got it done, always. In fact, I would actually work while he was teaching.
Right. Some teachers hate that. They'd be like, fuck you. This is class time, not homework time. Like, well, the thing
It's
is-
homework, not classwork.
Oh, man, I would hate those teachers.
I'd probably stand up and leave, honestly.
Like, alright, well, let me go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
do
home and do it, and
homework.
I'll come back in 20 minutes. But no, I don't think, the thing about our school was, it was poor, but we had good teachers. I think there's only like one or two, and I never had them anyway.
To quote my dad, a shitty head system, like the superintendent and all that. But the teachers were, how they got the teachers that they got is beyond him. Because there are a lot of good teachers there.
Yeah, unfortunately, actually, if you go back now, they've all left. Most of the good ones have left.
Probably because they weren't getting paid well enough.
Probably. Well, my brother's in high school now, because I'm 4 years ahead of him. Yeah, 4 years ahead of him. So once I graduated, he was going into high school. And I was asking him, like, hey, who do you got? And he named all these teachers. I'm like, I've literally never heard of these people in my entire life.
What the hell?
That's... I don't blame him.
Well,
Yeah.
and also like a lot of the good teachers were English teachers, which was surprising to me, because I heard like usually they get a bad rap because they're annoying. They assign a lot of homework, and English is kind of boring because you have to read a bunch of books you don't want to read.
Except for one of the English teachers could honestly go to hell.
Okay, well.
Yeah, there was one of the English teachers that they did some messed up shit and they wouldn't allow
Really?
anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must not have heard of this.
Should I say her name, John?
No, don't say
I
her.
would not
No, you
suggest
can
it.
say what she did, but you don't say her name. We don't want to be doxing anyone.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Or ourselves, really, because I still live in the area, so probably not do that. But you can say what she did.
It was more what she did to a friend, less a friend of my sister, and less than what she personally did to
Oh, we're talking
me or
about
anyone. I didn't have her, but she failed one of my sister's friends on a paper because of political views.
I don't think they're allowed to do that.
When it involves the Boston Massacre.
I mean, sure, but like, I can have a
Because they
different
thought
opinion.
it didn't happen.
That's just wrong.
That's just politically
Yeah,
incorrect. That's
Yeah. That's not even a political view. They're just wrong about history.
exactly. Like if that's like me saying, "Oh, Pearl Harbor didn't happen." There's no evidence of that one. Like there's clear evidence that it happened. We have footage of it. So I don't know. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. Was she fired?
No.
What? Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I was talking about a teacher who did some messed up stuff that he was fired for it. That is also really messed up.
What's the first letter of the name?
The guy she got fired.
Because her initial... Because most people call her by her initials anyway, not her full name, would it be okay to say that?
You can say the initials, because at that point it's up to speculation.
Miss HR.
Oh, yeah, okay. I never had her, so...
I never
Her.
had him.
Yeah, I have no idea. What wing... Was she in the English wing?
Yes.
Weird. I don't pay attention. Honestly, I speed so fast to class that I don't...
It's like, I don't have class with you, not my problem.
Not my damn problem. Yeah, exactly. Actually, that's pretty sure that's what I was thinking. But yeah, John. So what's your story then?
There was a teacher who was a pedophile.
Oh, that's always fun.
They got fired for that.
Wait, wasn't it? Oh, I think I've actually heard. Was that in 9th or 10th grade?
I think they were a teacher in 9th grade, and they weren't a teacher in 10th grade because of
The reasons.
the reasons.
Okay. Yeah, I think I heard from that because of Logan. Actually, I think he mentioned. I don't know how he knew about that kind of stuff. He must have found out some way. I mean, you found out about it too. So
I found out by other people talking about it. I'm like, man, that's messed up.
He has his sources.
I have my sources. I am wired into the network.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I never had any bad teachers. I don't think. I mean, there was a teacher in 8th grade that a lot of people gave her a hard time. But like, if you got on her good side, she was fine. You know.
Right. There was a teacher, who I'm thinking of, who was like, they wanted the best from students, and sometimes the students couldn't see that, and so they would appear to be worse than they actually were.
Wait, I'm confused.
I had
I'm
a-
confused on what you mean.
I had a teacher, like, she would be strict and hard on the students, and then she would do things that would seem weird because she was trying to teach us something, but we were too stupid to realize that at the time, and so we just didn't like her.
Yeah, no, I think her initial was L, but she was an 8th grade English teacher, and
Yeah.
I was on her good side. I literally was on her good side, and she treated me like a great student, and like, you know, I wasn't rebellious or anything. A lot of the people that didn't like her were rebellious, and like, it's like, yeah, I wonder why she doesn't like you very much, and
I never could tell which side I was on.
well, the thing about her was she was ready to retire, and so she was kind of over it, which made sense. But like one
But
of
the
the things,
kids that are going through the school system nowadays, I don't blame her.
well, and one of the reason I did like her so much is because one of the things she said to me before I left was like, hey, you made coming to class, or you made teaching your class like worth it and stuff. Because I was in a class with a lot of troublemakers. I'll just say that. I'm not gonna name names, but I did like the kids. I just didn't. I knew they were troublemakers.
If it's who I think they are.
It's the what would it be? What's after trio? Quadruplet or whatever? What is it? What's the official name after trio?
Awesome.
I don't know if that's accurate.
Jonathan?
We're not talking
Wrong
about
place. Wrong place. Wrong place.
Got it.
John, I know we're in a Subway and eat fresh and all, but calm down, man. But like, no, so it was the 4 of them. It's the 4 classic tricksters. I'll just say I don't know what the thing is. Think of the trio, and then there was an extra guy.
Could I say a last name?
Definitely not. Last names are definitely doxing people. But yeah, so it was the 4 people, and I was all in a class with them. I was also in a class with the 2 of the smartest kids as well. So it was a weird mixture. But one of the things she said before I left the school I was in, she was like, "Hey, you made teaching your class worth it." And that was just amazing to hear, because it's like I was a bit nicer on her and stuff, because I was trying to. I actually tried to calm the troublemakers a little down. It didn't work too well.
There's no.
If it's who I'm thinking about, I'm surprised that it worked at all.
It worked because they talked to me. Like, they actually, I don't know if we were friends, but we were definitely at least better acquaintances enough to be like, I would talk to them after class and be like, "Hey, I know you don't like her, but can you just put up with her for a little while?" And it worked. On 2 of them it worked. The other 2 literally, they would talk to me still, but they just didn't care. And I still, hung out with them and stuff, so I didn't really. I'm not their dad. I'm not going to tell them what to do. But like for 2 of them, yeah, they after I told them, it took a little while. I had to talk to them a couple times, but it took me a while. But they finally caught on that like she wouldn't hate them as much if they calmed down. And I think one of the things I told them was like, "Hey, I promise you, if you were to not do the things you're doing, I guarantee she'll be less harsh on you." And she was. And so they kind of stopped after that. The 2 that didn't stop were of course just still going. But yeah, so like people gave her a bad rap, but like I knew that if you were on a good side, then you wouldn't have any problems. I feel like most teachers are like that if you're on the good side, but she was definitely. I could understand why people didn't like her, because she was just like kind of over it, because she was ready to retire.
Right.
But I feel like if you're like 50 and you've been teaching for like 50 years or whatever, then I understand if you're ready to just like call it,
Right. I definitely see where you're coming from. I wasn't on the bad side, but they were sometimes disappointed with me because they knew I could do better in certain times, and like midway through the year I'd be like, "I just don't want to be here. I don't want to do all this work," and they got upset about that because they're like, "You can do work, you can be smart," but I'm like, I don't want to.
Well, see, that's a situation where, John, I'm like, I feel like that's on you at that point.
It is, yeah, 100%. Like, I didn't have a problem with them, and like they did want me to do my best, but I was like, I don't want to do my best. I want to slack.
Well, and see, that's almost what the troublemakers are doing, because they were like, they would throw paper during their lessons, and I'm like, the people that were throwing the paper, that's who I got to stop. And I'm like, hey, if you would stop throwing the damn papers, I feel like she would respect you a little bit more. I don't know why I had to teach them that, but it worked. The other 2 people that wouldn't stop, they would talk during class, often, and she'd have to constantly like yell at them.
And well, you guys were. Holy shit! I've done absolutely nothing.
Well, remember, we have a bit of an advantage, so don't feel bad about yourself.
Yeah, I got the floor on the benches and the middle thing.
You're doing good.
I did something.
You're doing good. Don't worry.
I don't feel like I've earned the $600 that I've recently acquired, but
well, and plus we're actually getting close to being done, so we're gonna have to do it. We're gonna do one more after this anyway. Because I usually like to split this up into 2 episodes. We won't do a huge one like this one, but we'll do like a smaller one. Yeah, I think just in general, I think most teachers are like that. I had a teacher who taught. He taught both government and economics. And
it's who I think it is.
Starts with an wait. They both start with an H, so that's not gonna help. He's the cooler one. I'll just say that he was the cooler one, the less like aggressive one.
That doesn't help me.
He was upstairs in the English wing. For some reason, he was on the English wing, but like he was at the very tail end of it. Anyway,
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I would have to disagree with that comment.
that he was on the English wing, I would challenge you.
No,
on
that
that
he
one.
was the cooler one.
I mean, I don't. Considering 90% of the student body thought so, I feel like you're up against the odds there, bud. But anyway, he literally had like there would be days where he's like, "All right, guys, I was gonna do something, but I don't really feel like it." We're just sitting there like, "Okay, it's free day, I guess." Like that's how cool he was. Like he was just like there would be times where like he was supposed to do something as a lesson. He's like, "Well, I don't really feel like it." Like that was literally his words one time. Like I don't feel like doing that. And so we're just sitting there like, okay, we agree with you. We agree. We don't want to do it. So
We don't feel like it either. Sure. Yeah, let's go with that.
And also, one of the things he said is he doesn't believe in homework. So he he gave us classwork, of course, but he never gave us homework besides current events, which everyone always did in class anyway. So, but that's why I say he was one of the coolest teachers there is because I also had a personal connection with him because he had my mom, I think. He taught my mom, I think, so we had a connection already. But he was always super chill with me, and we always had conversations before and after class. And like when you establish a connection with a teacher, you kind of already like them as it is.
Right.
And so, and like I said, he was against homework, which is personally how I believe that as well. I don't believe people should have homework. Give it to them in class, have it do it in class, do that kind of stuff. But homework is just kind of stupid because no one does it anyway. But yeah, so I just think with most teachers, I think if you're on their good side, I think you're well off. And this is to anyone that's listening that's currently in school. I would say to use those tips specifically is, hey, get on your teacher's good side, be nice to them, and if you can, try to have conversations with them after class. It doesn't have to be about school or anything. Just have conversations with them, and if you make that connection, they're gonna like. Because one of the things that he also did as well is he said if you this was one of the coolest things because we had finals, right? We didn't have what's it called? Exams or anything.
Regions.
We didn't have regions because it was the year after COVID, and so they didn't want to do them. And the teacher literally said to us, he said, "Hey, if you've been in my class for the majority of the year, I don't care if you get a 20 on this final, I'm giving you an 80." And like, just the thought of that was just like that's so nice of him to do that. And like he was talking to we were just talking to one person because they didn't come in that often. But he was like, but on the counter side, if you've come like once or twice a year, then I don't care. You get what you get, which made sense because you're like, if you didn't come to class at all, then that's on you. But I didn't need the push that he was offering. I got I think it was like a 75, which I was happy with. And actually, no, sorry, not 75. It was an 81. It was like something in the low 80s. But that was just so nice of him that he was going to do that if you had been in class. Because I think I only missed like 2 days. Nope, sorry, maybe 5. I think 5. 5 days that like were unexcused. Because I had a couple of days. We had our vacation during that time. So. Oh yeah, you're doing that one. I'll go over here. But yeah, I just like a lot of the teachers in my senior class were amazing. I'll end with that so you guys can actually say something. But it was just really bringing back memories for me.
Yeah, I had a teacher in my an English class after I moved, where like he would have the similar thing where he would be like, all right, so I'm supposed to keep you guys here until the end of time, but I got nothing else for you, so just keep this between us.
Yeah, I love teachers that do that. It's like they're supposed to be doing something, and they're like, I don't really feel like it, so you guys are on your own. Just like, do what you want. And also, the cool thing about the teacher I was talking about before is that they didn't really care about phones as long as you didn't have them out during the lesson. Because, like, he would always end... He made it a point to be, like, to end 10 minutes early so we had 10 minutes of free time. Like, he literally made that a point of his lessons. He'd be like... He'd look at the clock and be like, all right, guys, I'm done. It's like, okay, sweet, I'll be on my phone then. Because I never had homework. And I always did the current events ahead of time. So I usually, when we had free time, I'd play Clash Royale or something. I'd just be sitting there being like, all right, let's get some crowns. Here we go. But, you know.
Yeah. Axel, you got any teachers that were like super awesome?
Yes. The robotics teacher.
Mm-hmm.
teacher and track coach.
Oh, I might have had them. As a track
H.
coach. What's that?
First initial is H.
Oh yeah, he's cool. I like him.
Yeah. He would let us hang out in the room before track meets.
Yeah, didn't he teach science too?
Yes.
Yeah.
I never had him as an actual teacher because I just never took biology because I'm a robotics major. I'm a robotics / engineering major. I don't need biology. So,
you know, he also taught like living environment. So that's
John, this is my pillar.
Alright, I'll go on a different pillar.
I do not care how long it takes me. This is my pillar.
Alright, you take 8 years.
John? Let me feel a sense of accomplishment, okay?
Alright. I'm going.
Yeah, honestly, I had a moment in that, like in the, I think it was the dinosaur place, the park or whatever. I was doing this one bench. I was getting ready to beat this bench. John comes over with his like maximum power thing or whatever. And I'm like, I just look at him like, can you go somewhere else? Like we have this entire.
That's
park.
how I felt just now. Because like I'm just right.
Yeah, I mean, if we're getting down to like the last thing, sure, whatever. But like, there's like the entire park left, and I'm just like, are you serious, man? And then John's like quietly, he's like, all right, I'll leave. You should have said, I'll see myself out. That would have been funnier, but.
Yeah.
That does remind me, though. Well, it did remind me for half a second, then I immediately forgot. So I'm gonna just.
Yeah. That happened to me earlier. I got it back eventually. It was the speedrunning thing I wanted to talk about, but then I was like, I can't remember it.
Yeah, my brain's like, well, it's not important enough, so we're not gonna remember it.
Right. My brain just does that, but even if it is important, it's like, nope, not important. Like, but it is. It's like, nope, it isn't.
Is this for survival? No. Alright, then forget it.
It's like, but I need that for later. It's like, nope, not survival. Not needed.
Honestly, that's why I think homework's stupid, because it makes people stay up late. And I actually surveyed. I actually did a survey. I was so engaged in the school system. And I was trying to change it. But I made a survey. John, I don't know if you got it in your class. I had it sent out to most of the classes. But it was this entire survey that's like, hey, how much homework do you do and how much time do you spend on it? There was papers that said they had spent 9 hours on homework almost each night. And I'm just thinking to myself, I would die before I do
have that much time.
Yeah, like I didn't have the time for that.
They probably didn't have like clubs or anything, or like sports or anything.
See, that's what I don't get. That's why I'm perfectly content with like getting B's in school.
Yeah.
Like I want to keep my social life. I don't want to ditch my friends just so I can get straight A's in school.
Well,
what kind of social life is really needed?
Well, here's the thing though, is that the people I also asked in the same survey, is this your parents doing or are you doing this on your own free will? And most of the people that were like, oh, that got 9 hours, they were like, our parents want us to do this. So like, but it just occurred to me, like, if they didn't have that homework and could make progress otherwise, then they could do it. So I don't know. Okay, we got pillar, signal light. Okay, these are that's tunnel lights. Signal lights are
uplighting edges.
Oh, I know what this signal light I think is.
Oh yeah. It's these things. Okay, so there's one of them that's.
I found it.
Okay. We got uplifting ledges, uplighting ledges.
I saw something.
I have no clue where that is.
This pillar.
Oh.
I found the pillar
we were working on, and you're like, "Get out of here!"
Yeah, that's the pillar you were.
I finished that. No. It was this one.
This was the pillar. I remember because I walked by it.
No, I did that pillar too, but this is the pillar that I drew John away from.
Where's these ledges?
I found one of them.
What is it?
It's the ledge up on these up here.
Oh, I
wasn't
wasn't even working up there.
Yeah, that's on me. I was doing those.
John, I can't believe you're so bad at this game.
Yeah.
How dare you? Where is it? It doesn't
I'm
exist.
spamming tab.
It's a lot. Well, the tab's not going to help you at this point. We got to actually just check. Once you get to, like, the last thing, tab doesn't do anything. Get up this ladder, damn it. Oh my god, I'm so fat I can't get up this ladder. Okay, okay. I officially am rebelling against ladders. Alright, you know what, ladder? Come here. You know what, ladder? You're going over here. You're going over here and time out. I hate you.
Is the water wet? I'm pretty sure it isn't.
Yes, it is actually.
No. Wetness is the having water on it. Water cannot be on water.
Yes, but there are water molecules on top of each other to fill a body and a space, which means there are water molecules on top of one another, making another water molecule wet, making the entire body of water wet. Therefore, water is wet.
Here's the thing. That's a scientific answer. I would say, obviously, I agree with that. But also, another thing I have is, like, if you're saying something can be wet, if you spill orange juice on a piece of paper, that's wet. Orange juice isn't water. So it doesn't have to be just water that we're talking about here. It can be literally anything. So if water can make something wet, then water itself has to be wet. So
I can't put down the ladder.
Yeah, see what I mean? It's just
Not letting me put it down.
It rebels against you. Is it actually?
Give me. I'll take the ladder.
No, I can't put it down. I can't give it to you.
It's actually stuck. John broke the game.
I broke it.
Hey, we gotta beat this level.
Just see John walking around with a ladder.
I don't actually see the ladder. I see the outline for it.
No, I see John. I see the ladder.
I do not.
He's just running around with the ladder floating in front of his face.
Is cereal soup? Cereal is a stew.
Cereal is a soup.
We actually had this conversation in a podcast episode where we talked about, I think it's called Food Wars, or something like that, where we talked about, like, is ketchup, what was ketchup?
Ketchup was,
is a Kit Kat a lasagna? Which the answer was actually yes, by the way.
That's a bullshit question as an Italian.
Well, if you take the word lasagna and define it, and it does fit into a Kit Kat.
It's noodles.
It's new. I don't know, man. The
scientific. What? Hold on.
The scientific answer was yes. So I'm not gonna.
Science is stupid.
I'm not disagreeing with you. And the also consensus was that fried chicken is a sandwich, which I also don't agree with at all. So.
I can't.
Oh, and Cheetos are chicken. I forgot about that one.
Oh, that one pissed me off.
That one pissed me off, too. I'm like, are you actually...
What am I listening to?
You're listening to Science Failing. That's what you're listening to.
It's gotta be one of these
I'm sorry. Ketchup is a smoothie.
Oh, that's the question. And I think the answer was no. Which, ketchup is not a smoothie, but damn, if Cheetos are chicken, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It's so dumb.
Where is
cereal is a soup?
I have yet to find this stupid ledge. I've not even seen the letters for it. Where is it?
It's like it's almost impossible now that the Latin is broken. Right. But it's right here where these lights are. It's the ledge connected to these lights up here.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, but it's impossible. I imagine it's one of the farther ones.
I bet.
And it just won't let us because the ladder's broken.
Wait, John, I can stand on you. I can stand on you to get height.
Stand on my shoulders.
Yeah, I got you, buddy. I got you. Okay, I got you. Yep. I also got a trident of force. I got the Triforce. It doesn't let me jump as high. Oh, crap. I fell off you.
Yeah, I fell off. Okay, let me move over here then.
Okay, yeah. Okay. This is how it would work in real life, because John's taller than me, so I just... This is how...
on my shoulders.
Yeah, this is how it would have to work anyway. We'll do the Last of Us type of, like, I'll climb a ledge, you help me up. Up!
Hey, we did it!
Yay! I didn't even get the job complete sign, because John broke the game, but hey, we did it!
If you're at a restaurant and your waiter doesn't come back, are you the waiter?
Yes, you are the waiter.
Yes, the time lapse, it's gonna be so bad because it's 3 of us.
What do you mean?
The time lapse, because it's like all these random things happening to clean it. And
oh god!
It's not actually satisfying. I don't actually have that. It's not giving it to me.
Alright,
I did not get it either.
Where are we dropping?
Tilted Towers. No, I don't know. What haven't we done?
I shall be back momentarily.
Okay.
Alright, get out of here.
So what haven't we done that we can do?
We could do the Lost City Palace.
Never. No. We don't have time for that.
Let's see. We got the toilets. We could clean the toilets.
The toilets?
It's clean the washroom. but
Oh,
it's
I didn't really
toilet.
like that one. I don't know.
What about the temple? Ancient temple.
Isn't the temple the final one? That's like
No,
massive.
that's the Lost City Palace. The temple is a bunch of monks got shit thrown at the temple, and we have to clean it.
Monks. Oh, hang on. Can I see that? Hang on. Which one? Which
It's-
number is that?
It's the one after clean the treehouse.
I just can't remember that one for some reason. I would say no because I don't even freaking remember it.
All right. What about the mansion?
The mansion.
Clean the mayor's mansion, where you're just like cleaning the front of it.
Oh no, that's gonna take like 5 minutes. And Axel can't even do that one.
Oh, okay. What about the ancient statue?
Is that the one that's like in the ground?
No, it's the one where it's like a pharaoh looking guy.
Yeah, that's the one in the ground, isn't it? It's like half of it's in the ground.
Yes. Yeah. I thought you meant the monument with the hand.
No, that's I mean that one technically, yeah. But isn't there a circus one that we haven't done?
I mean, me and Axel did the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't there's more than that though, isn't there?
There's the Helter Skelter, which is like the big slide.
Yeah, you want to do the big slide?
Yeah, we did the big slide.
Because that shouldn't take too long, and it gives us a second thing to do. So